And I've been doing courses and things. I've been searching for the right thing to connect me with the natural world. I've always felt connected to the natural world. And I've gone to festivals, I've done singing groups, I've done shamanic drumming groups, I've done gong baths. I've done everything you can think of. And some of it I have got a lot from, but a lot of it as well feels like it's appropriation and it's made me uncomfortable.
That word, appropriation, this is at the heart of everything I aim to do in all my work, in all my thoughts, in just about everything I involve myself with. The bottom line is that there are so many things around that people can dabble with or get into today in terms of trying to find where they belong. And as many of my students might say, it's very difficult when you're trying to find where you belong and then you clutch at something and think you've found it, only to discover that there are things that you can gain from it, but it doesn't go the extra mile. It doesn't help you feel that you belong in a more, shall we say, indigenous way. I've wrestled with this for so many years. I've had people say to me, yes, I'm following this path or that path or different kinds of paths. And while I don't wish to criticise people who go on particular paths to find themselves, and I don't, I just say what I feel to be the right thing in accordance with what I've learned. It seems to be that there's something that doesn't support them as a person as they are now at this moment, and also doesn't support ancient culture and certainly not the natural world as it has grown up. Now, if you think about this is something quite interesting to think about. The natural world started off, shall we say, I know it didn't really start off, but let's just say that for the time being, started off thousands of years ago with people who were derivatives. Now remember that, derivatives of the natural world. They weren't separate. They were part and parcel of it, just as all the wild birds still are and all the wild animals still are. People were part and parcel of what that was all about. And then as time went on, there was a divide that happened. For some reason, somehow, you can call it what you like, you can call it religious thinking, you can call it people wanting power, you can call it all sorts of things. But something stepped in the way and caused a divide between us and the natural world. So thereafter, we were concerned with trying to find our way back to the natural world. And that is what we're trying to do when we're saying we want to belong to something. Because the natural world contains qualities and values that we once contained. We once had the same law, which the Romany people call Makeribon, and that means the absolute natural law, the way it functions, the way wild birds and wild animals function, the way everything ticks along according to that law.
And I've always wanted to find my own indigeny. That doesn't come from appropriating other cultures. It comes from finding our roots, our ancestral roots, and that's what I found doing this course. It's been a long time coming.
So, because we had that divide, we're now traipsing along different paths and we're trying to find where we belong. And a lot of the things we can turn to, the alternative practices and disciplines we can turn to, were only created in the last couple of 100 years, more or less, anyway. The natural world wasn't created in the last couple of 100 years. That's the big point. And some of the attachments that we put on Puv, the earth, and the greater ancestors, the Boromuli, as I call them, some of the attachments we almost fantasize that they've been there for a long, 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 long time, and they haven't.
I mean, I've been hunting for something, call it spiritual, that's the only word I can use at the moment. And then when I came across Jasper's books and I found out that he was doing these courses, I jumped at the chance to get onto a workshop. In fact, I hosted a workshop for him. And what I found was, because this is a genuine philosophy, way of life, culture, belief system, it so much resonated with me.
So while I won't say you should not follow a path, I put it to you that it is your duty to investigate the origins of a discipline or a path. Find out what it's actually made of. That's the point. Find out where it began. Find out who created it. Now, if you look at the word Macaribin, if you look at the Boromuli, natural world, all these words, they come from the Romani language. And that goes back and back and back and back. And I can't say who was the first Romani person to create those words, because that's probably thousands and thousands of years ago. Now, while I'm not saying that my culture is the best thing since sliced bread, and sliced bread was only created over a couple of hundred years, whatever, it's important for each individual, for each of you, whether you follow what I'm doing or whether you follow something else. It's important to find the origins and then to work out what your own background is. If you're a Westerner, then the Indo-European culture, something usually in Western Europe, whether you're in America, Australia, New Zealand, it doesn't matter where you are, something from the Western world that comes from the West, the Indo-European world, can give more to you now. That is what I'm talking about. So when people come to me, although I like to follow what I know, I don't say you should follow this. What I do say is you have an obligation, a duty, to find out where your roots are, what you resonate with, where you come from, and to trace that back and back and back and back. The only word I can think of is crap. There's been so much crap that's got in the way of ourselves and the natural world and our own personal development. So much that we're kind of wading through it.
I'd never heard of the greater ancestors before. I love the fact that I could learn about that and how they can be there for us all the time. I learned about my own ancestors that I do work closely with now, and it's a wonderful feeling to know that you're never actually alone. There is something there for you the whole time. Doing the workshops, it sort of encouraged me then to continue to go on to do the 2-year shamanic interaction course, and that has benefited me in countless ways. I can't go into sort of how much it has actually shaped me, changed me, given me skills that I didn't know brought to the fore skills I didn't know that I had, and it has completely changed my life.
So should you come to join me on one of my courses, then that is what you will find. You will find you. I've found me, you will find you. And how we do that, I cannot say, because personal transformation takes a certain course. It takes a bit of investigation, it takes a bit of soul searching, it takes all sorts of things that are unavoidable.
To be 100% honest, it's been life-changing for me. My mind is like so much calmer, and also it's like improved my confidence. It's just sort of like changed my life for the better, to be honest. So yeah, it's been life-changing.
Personal transformation is actually unavoidable. If you're on a path where you're, I don't like to use that word path, but if you're walking in the direction of personal transformation, then you're going to have a little bit of pain, but you're going to find it. And that's what happens on my courses, because it's real, because it's simple, because it's straightforward. As someone once said to me, no frills or ribbons. There are no frills or ribbons. And sometimes, people can overlook that. They overlook it because it's so simple. They think, well, where's all the clash of symbols? Where's all the paraphernalia? Where's all this and that and everything else? There isn't anything. There's just you. What you do with that is another question.
For me, personally, I think, it's really been a personal journey of focusing on things that I need to, one, learn, to deepen my intuition and have a better connection, not only with myself, but with other people. And that's been truly a transformative experience in ways that I hadn't expected, and such a beautiful experience.
I'm an ancient medicine man in the sense that I see the origins of the natural world. I see the origins of McKerriban, and I see it to the extent that we can work with that, and I can help you to come out of yourself and find yourself. So many things you can do that help you find yourself, and we can sit and talk, we can do all sorts of things, but when we do role play, that is the thing, although people don't like doing it at first, that is the thing that helps them connect with all those things that they have tucked inside. Fear, anxiety, lack of confidence. And as soon as that starts to come out, as soon as you start to have access to that, then you start to really grow. You start to realise what you're made of, because you also think that, okay, I contacted that, I did it. It felt uncomfortable. It even felt odd. It felt really odd, but it connected me with myself. What do you think the ancient people did when they conducted their rituals? They did role play. Shamanic mirroring. I had a whole video about that. When we mirror the natural world, we mirror each other, we're mirroring all the time. And of course, role play isn't terribly popular in the New Age arenas. They don't want to do that. They don't want people to see their fears and talk about their fears and tackle them. We don't have to dwell on anything, but what we do need to do is find out how we can make progress towards that self that we are. Now, my courses are here, my work is here for you to engage with. And it's up to you whether you do that.
So I'm looking forward to going now into my second year and completing the course, and hopefully taking it forward with Jasper's blessing, hopefully. It's done me a lot of good. Yeah, actually.
Try if you can to always examine the roots of something. Try if you can to be realistic. Be real to yourself. Have a bit of presence about this. Does something sit right with me? Does it work? Is it so simple that I can't understand it? Because if something's simple, it's usually a little more accurate. Leave all the bells and the gongs and the clashes of symbols and all the drama. Leave that behind. It's dramatic enough in the natural world landscape and what we have inside. Our own soul, our own deeper emotions are dramatic enough. And if you think that emotion is nothing to do with the spirituality of finding yourself, I'm here to tell you that that is incorrect, because the natural world has so much emotion in a little tiny bud, in a little tiny leaf that grows in springtime. When a tree has the leaves fall and those leaves die, there's life and death in those things. Look for them. Make yourself start to look for them. Go for a walk in the woodland. See what's happening. Connect with it. There's nothing better than the natural world to teach you, but you have to see her as she is, not as some jumped up fanciful new age idea of what she is. So that's my message. Come along and learn as some people have learnt with me, and see what you can find for yourself.
And it has completely changed my life. And I would recommend that if anybody is thinking about doing a course like this, or coming on to do the online course, or coming along to some of our workshops, please come and have a try, because you're only going to get some wonderful stuff from it.
Step forward. And if you want to come along and learn, then please come. I'll be happy to welcome you. Don't put it off. Please don't put it off. It'll give you a payback that's better than anything else on earth, where you'll learn to say no, you'll learn to do all sorts of things that the New Age will never teach you. Walk past the New Age and look for what is real. Okay, I'll shut up now. Thanks for listening.